call it Africa's forgotten coastline. But only because the world never looked close enough.
I love you.
Just beyond the Red Sea's edge, Eritrea hides over 200 untouched islands. Beneath turquoise waves, coral cities. Still alive, still breathing. It is a capital that looks more like Rome in the 1930s than East Africa.
Cinema Roma.
This is where time bends. Ancient empires carved in stone. Colonial trains still rattling through the mountains. Fishermen navigating by stars, just like they did in the days of the pharaohs. This isn't your typical African adventure. This is Eritrea, enigmatic, elegant, and endlessly unexplored. Stay to the end, because we're going beyond the mainland, to a forgotten island that even Google Maps barely understands.
Let's go.
The coastline of secrets, Eritrea's hidden pearl. If you trace your finger along Africa's Horn, you'll find a narrow stretch where desert dunes meet the Red Sea. That's Eritrea. And what most people miss is that this coastline isn't just long, it's extraordinary. Over 2,200 kilometers of raw, uncommercialized beauty stretch from sandy coves to rocky cliffs. There are no resort chains, no mega hotels, no beach selfies crowding the horizon. Just the land, the water, and a history that hums quietly beneath your feet. Now, let's talk about the part nobody tells you about. The Dahlak Archipelago. Imagine more than 200 islands, scattered like pearls across the Red Sea, most completely uninhabited. You won't find tour buses or souvenir stalls here. The waters are so impossibly clear that they make the Maldives look pixelated. It's a diver's dream and a historian's playground. Underneath, coral gardens bloom like neon cathedrals, while centuries-old shipwrecks, from Ottoman galleys to Italian cargo ships and British vessels, lie quietly in the deep, now home to lionfish, parrotfish, and countless other marine residents. Every dive is a layered story of history and nature entwined. What makes this coastline even more fascinating is its strategic importance through time. The Red Sea wasn't just water, it was the ancient superhighway of global trade. Spices from India, gold from Nubia, frankincense from Yemen, all passed through these channels. Eritrea was the gatekeeper, the meeting point, the first stop for merchants from across continents. Imagine thousands of years ago, bustling ports, camel caravans unloading goods, sailors negotiating deals in languages you've never heard. And then there's Massawa, Eritrea's hauntingly beautiful port city. Step into its streets, and you'll immediately feel the nickname Pearl of the Red Sea isn't exaggeration. It's poetry. Coral stone buildings shimmer in the sun, Ottoman arches mingle with Italian balconies, and Egyptian gates stand as silent witnesses to centuries. You can almost see the footprints of traders, soldiers, and settlers who walked these alleys before you. The city is simultaneously vibrant and suspended in time. Massawa isn't noisy, crowded, or desperate for attention. It has a quiet, commanding presence. walk along the old railway tracks that once carried goods from the highlands to the coast, and you'll feel the weight of history pressing lightly on your shoulders. Ships from Arabia, Persia, and beyond would dock here, turning the city into a crossroads of civilizations. Today, it waits patiently, like a monarch in exile, unhurried but unmistakably regal.
Welcome to Massawa.
And here's something that often surprises visitors. The name Eritrea itself comes from the Greek ERITREA, meaning Red Sea. Before the modern nation existed, locals called this land Madre Bahri, the land of the sea. Perfect, right? A place defined by its connection to water, trade, and life itself. But don't let the serene beaches and coral reefs fool you. This coastline has weathered storms, both natural and human. Empires rose and fell. The Ottomans fortified the ports. The Italians built railways and colonial districts. The British left their mark and moved on. Yet the local communities endured, fishing, diving, trading, rebuilding, and preserving the soul of the land. Here's the irony. While other coastlines in the world were turned into resorts, marinas, and commercial playgrounds, Eritrea's remained raw and unspoiled. Isolation, politics, and perhaps sheer luck kept it that way. Today, that isolation is its treasure. Reefs thrive, sands remain untouched, and sunsets bleed across the horizon with no filters or crowds, just pure, unadulterated beauty. Stay with me, because next we're heading inland, to a city that defies every stereotype of Africa. A city built for espresso, cinema, and Fiat cars. A city UNESCO calls a modernist masterpiece. That city is Asmara, Africa's little Rome. And once you see it, you'll understand why Eritrea isn't just forgotten, it's misunderstood. Asmara, the city that froze in time. Step off the plane in Asmara and you'll swear you've landed somewhere in southern Europe instead of East Africa. The air is cooler here, crisp and dry thanks to its 2,300-meter altitude. And the city itself feels like a postcard from the 1930s. Wide boulevards, palm-lined streets, cafes with marble counters serving perfect macchiatos under faded neon signs. Even the shadows here seem cinematic. Welcome to Africa's little Rome.
Macchiato.
Asmara isn't pretending to be Italian. It was Italian. For nearly 50 years, Eritrea was Italy's prized colony, and Asmara was where they poured all their architectural ambition. Architects and engineers came from Rome and Milan to experiment with geometry, symmetry, and modernist flair, transforming the city into an open-air gallery of futurism and Art Deco. The result? A city that looks like a film set, except it's real, lived in, and still perfectly preserved. It's like time paused just before the Second World War and never hit play again. Walk down Harnett Avenue, and you'll see the legendary Fiat Tagliero building, a futuristic fuel station designed like an airplane mid-takeoff. When it was built in 1938, locals thought it couldn't possibly stand without support pillars. The architect, legend has it, pulled a gun on anyone who tried to add them. And he was right. It's still standing, wings and all, more than 80 years later. It's not just a building. It's a symbol of boldness that defied logic and gravity.
Fiat Alero.
Then there's the Cinema Impero, an Art Deco masterpiece with a facade that could easily belong in Miami Beach. Inside, it still screens films on weekends, the same vintage projector humming softly since Mussolini's time. Around the corner, old barber shops still use decades-old mirrors, shoeshine boys polish boots beside pastel walls, and Vespas buzz past balconies draped in bougainvillea. Everything looks like it's been frozen in the golden glow of a sepia photograph, but it's all very much alive. You know what's fascinating? UNESCO didn't preserve Asmara just because it's beautiful. They preserved it because it's a time capsule. The city was never modernized in the global rush for high rises and glass towers. Eritrea's long years of isolation unintentionally protected its heritage. What the world might call neglect became Asmara's greatest preservation strategy. And the vibe here, there's nothing quite like it. Slow, stylish, effortlessly meticulous. You'll see locals in pressed shirts and tailored jackets, sitting outside cafes with the same calm poise you'd find in 1950s Milan.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Eritreans have this quiet pride in presentation. It's not vanity, it's identity. The espresso culture, the way people linger over small talk, the elegance and simplicity, all remnants of Italy's influence, yet now uniquely Eritrean. One of the most charming relics from that era is the Asmara-Massawa Railway. Built by the Italians in the early 1900s, it snakes down from the cool highlands to the hot coastal plains through tunnels, viaducts, and breathtaking escarpments. But here's where it gets wild. When the engines broke down, they used camels to pull the train cars. Yes, camels on a railway, hauling colonial cargo down to the Red Sea. It sounds like folklore, but it's documented history, an absurdly poetic example of Eritrea's ingenuity. Today, a few restored steam locomotives still chug along the old track, and if you're lucky enough to ride one, it feels like traveling through a living museum. But Asmara isn't just architecture and nostalgia, its resilience is carved into concrete. This city survived wars, sanctions, and decades of isolation, yet it never lost its dignity. The streets are spotless, the gardens tended, the facades freshly painted. People care, not because someone's watching, but because beauty here is communal pride. There's an unspoken understanding. We'll keep it beautiful anyway. And maybe that's Asmara's secret charm. It's not performing for tourists. It's not chasing the future. It's simply existing, quietly confident, perfectly content to be itself. But beyond Asmara's chic calm lies a deeper story. One that predates Rome, Islam, and even written history.
Welcome to ERITREA!
Deep in Eritrea's highlands lie the ruins of Koheto, Matera, and the echoes of the Aksumite Empire, ancient civilizations that ruled trade routes long before modern borders existed. So, let's leave the espresso cups behind for a while. Next, we're heading back, way back, to where ancient Africa met the world, to the forgotten empires that built Eritrea's foundations. Ancient echoes, the lost empires of Eritrea. Before modern borders and colonial blueprints, Eritrea was the beating heart of an empire. Not a small one of Africa's first great civilizations, the Kingdom of Aksum. Long before the Romans built aqueducts, Aksumite ships were sailing across the Red Sea, trading ivory, gold, and incense from ports along this very coastline. Some historians call it Africa's forgotten superpower, and part of that legacy still lies buried beneath Eritrea's soil, waiting quietly in the highlands and deserts for those who listen closely enough. Our first stop, Cohaito. Picture this, an ancient city perched high above a canyon, the wind howling through stone pillars that once framed temples and tombs. The silence here feels sacred, like the air itself remembers. Some of these ruins are over 2,000 years old. Archaeologists say it was once a major stop on the caravan routes between the Nile Valley and the Arabian Peninsula. You can still trace the faint lines of those roads carved directly into the rock, like veins of history running across the plateau. It's not hard to imagine the sound of camel bells echoing through the valley, traders resting under the same cliffs where you stand. Locals will tell you Cohaito's stones still hum at dusk. Whether that's myth or wind, it feels like a place where time folds over itself, a living echo of an empire long gone but never forgotten. A few miles away lies Matera, another ancient Axumite city that once buzzed with merchants trading cloth, spices, and obsidian. What remains today are mysterious obelisks, burial chambers, and inscribed stones written in Ge'ez, the ancient language of the highlands, still sung in Eritrean churches today. These aren't just ruins. They're fingerprints of a civilization that once connected Africa to Asia and the Mediterranean, centuries before globalization had a name. Here's the thing. We often talk about the pyramids or Greece when we mention ancient civilizations. But Aksum was right there in that same league, minting its own coins, writing its own language, and commanding trade networks that stretched across 3 continents. And Eritrea was its northern gateway, the first face that greeted ships from Arabia, Persia, and beyond. One of the most stunning discoveries here came from Buya, a small village near the desert. In 1995, scientists unearthed a hominid skull estimated to be 1 million years old, one of the oldest human fossils ever found. Let that sink in for a moment. 1 million years. It rewrote what scientists thought they knew about human evolution in East Africa. Eritrea isn't just old, it's prehistoric. The land itself feels ancient, like the cradle of time. It's surreal to think that on one side of the country, you can sip a macchiato in an Art Deco cafe, and on the other, stand in a place where the first humans walked. That's Eritrea's magic.
Only macchiato.
Modernity and antiquity coexisting, not in conflict, but in rhythm. But history here isn't just something you dig up, it's something you live. Eritrea has 9 recognized ethnic groups, each with its own language, music, and rituals. The Tigrinya, the Tigre, the Afar, the Saho, and more. All different threads that somehow weave into one fabric. The result isn't chaos, it's harmony, like a mosaic where every piece belongs exactly where it is. And if you want to feel this heartbeat, don't just visit the ruins. Join a coffee ceremony. Eritreans don't drink coffee, they celebrate it. Green beans roasted over an open flame, the aroma wrapping around you like incense. Popcorn served as a small offering of hospitality. The coffee is brewed slowly in a jabena, a clay pot with a long spout, and poured in 3 rounds, each one symbolizing friendship, community, and respect. It's not just caffeine. it's a connection. You'll realize quickly that Eritrea's greatest strength isn't in its monuments or museums, it's in its people. Neighbors gather, families linger, and time stretches. The same patience that preserved Aksum's ruins seems to live in its culture, a quiet defiance against the rush of modern life. And yet, beneath that calm, Eritrea's story hasn't been gentle. Centuries of conquest, colonialism, and conflict left scars, but never submission. Each empire left its mark, but none could erase what was already written in stone, language, and soul. Next, we'll dive into those layers, how Ottoman mosques, Egyptian forts, and Italian cathedrals all coexist along the same shore. Because to understand Eritrea's beauty, you have to see how it absorbed the world and still stayed unmistakably itself. Empires on the shore, where worlds collide. Stand on the docks of Massawa and you can almost hear it, the sound of centuries rushing past each other. This city isn't just old, it's layered. Every stone, every archway tells a story of a world long gone. Ottoman, Egyptian, Italian, stitched together by the salty Red Sea breeze. Massawa's old town sits on coral islands, connected by narrow causeways that shimmer under the heat. The first thing that hits you isn't noise, it's the silence. Then comes the rhythm of waves lapping against walls made from coral limestone, the same material that gives the city its ghostly white glow. Locals call it Batsi Masewa, the White City, faded, cracked, but breathtaking. The Ottomans built the first forts here in the 16th century, drawn by the Red Sea's strategic importance. Walk the alleyways, and you'll spot their influence in arched doorways, domed mosques, and wooden balconies etched with intricate geometric patterns. Centuries later, the Egyptians left their marks: administrative offices, small forts, and a few governmental imprints. Then came the Italians, reshaping Massawa's streets into a seaside playground of colonial architecture. Piazzas, warehouses, lighthouses, and port buildings with a Mediterranean flair. But the sea has seen it all: traders, conquerors, refugees, and fishermen. In its quiet way, Massawa has always been Eritrea's storyteller. Every building whispers tales of ambition, commerce, and survival. One of the most haunting spots is the war-damaged district. Bullet holes perforate walls. Roofs have collapsed. Yet life continues. Kids play soccer in front of ruins. Families hang laundry between broken walls. Elderly men sit on wooden benches, smoking shisha, recounting stories of Ottoman sailors or Italian merchants. The city doesn't hide its scars. It coexists with them, carrying memories forward without letting them define the present. Just off the coast lie the Dalak Islands, where nature has reclaimed what humans abandoned. Some islands were once salt mining hubs, others secret military outposts. Today, mangroves thrive, sea turtles glide, and coral reefs flourish untouched. Underwater archaeologists have found shipwrecks dating back hundreds of years. Ottoman galleons, Italian merchant vessels, even World War II warships. now silent guardians beneath the waves. In some coves, fishermen still dive for sea cucumbers and lobsters, continuing a practice that hasn't changed in centuries. It's almost invisible to the outside world. While tourists flock to Zanzibar or the Seychelles, Eritrea's islands remain empty, a diver's paradise, a historian's dream, a place where solitude and discovery walk hand in hand. The coastline's beauty isn't flashy. It's restrained. It doesn't demand attention. It rewards curiosity. Walk slowly. Look closely. The same coral blocks that built Ottoman mosques now support Italian balconies. The same streets that once carried caravan traders now echo with bicycles, scooters, and fishermen hauling their nets. Morning markets fill the air with the scent of grilled fish and spices. Children weave between stalls, calling out prices in Tigrinya and Tigre. Life pulses quietly but persistently. Here's a paradox. Eritrea's isolation, often viewed as a setback, turned into preservation. No mass tourism, no commercial development, just raw authenticity, untouched, unpolished, and timeless. And when you stand by the shore at sunset, watching the sea turn red like molten glass, it's easy to understand why the Greeks called it ERITREA thalassa, the Red Sea. The name Eritrea itself, derived from that phrase, is a linguistic fossil, a testament to millennia of trade, travel, and cultural exchange. It truly is the land of the sea. Yet this isn't a story of ruins alone. Eritrea's past lives in its people. From the fishermen of Massawa mending their nets to engineers restoring the old railway lines, there's a quiet pride here. An unspoken continuity between past and present. The same resilience that resisted empires flows through daily life, in small rituals, communal gatherings, and a way of living that honors history while moving forward. Street musicians play traditional instruments at twilight, blending old melodies with the rhythm of the Red Sea waves. It's in these small moments that you feel the heartbeat of a nation. And that's what we'll explore next. How these layers of past and present merge in daily Eritrean life. From coffee ceremonies to bustling markets, from ancient traditions to modern ingenuity, this is where Eritrea truly comes alive. The soul of Eritrea, culture, coffee, and community. You can't really understand Eritrea through ruins or coastlines alone. To know this country, you have to sit down, slow down, and share a cup of coffee. Because here, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a ceremony, a rhythm, a conversation. It starts with the sound of beans being roasted over charcoal. The smell fills the room, thick, nutty, almost sweet. Then comes the grinding, the bubbling, and finally the pouring from a curved jabina, a traditional clay pot. The host serves 3 rounds, awo, kalei, bereka, each one slightly weaker than the last, but stronger in meaning. It's not rushed, it's social glue. A single coffee ceremony can last an hour, and no one's checking their phone. And while you're sitting there, you notice how Eritrea's 9 ethnic groups blend together: Tigrinya, Tigray, Afar, Saho, Bilen, Kunama, Nara, Rashaida, Hedereb, each with their own languages, clothing and music, yet somehow deeply connected. There's pride in difference, but never division. That's rare. You might hear stories about how weddings can last 3 days, filled with dancing, drums, and shimmering white garments embroidered with gold. Or about the tilo, a spicy barley dish served with bare hands, symbolizing trust and friendship. Eritrea's culture is built around togetherness. It's less about luxury, more about shared experience. Markets hum with life, vendors call out prices in multiple languages, and children weave around. Shoppers laughing, carrying bundles of fresh bread or spices. That shows in how people treat each other. Whether you're a visitor or a neighbor, you'll be greeted with warmth. Eritreans don't do performative hospitality. They do real hospitality. You're offered food before you're asked for your name. You're included before you're evaluated. It's a community in its purest form. Then there's the art and music. Eritrean Tigrinya songs that mix traditional drums with electric guitar riffs. Street painters in Asmara capture daily life on weathered canvases. Even graffiti here feels poetic, colorful, symbolic, unafraid. It's easy to forget that Eritrea's been through decades of hardship, colonization, wars, and isolation. But maybe that's why the people treasure joy so fiercely. They've learned to celebrate the simple: good coffee, laughter, clean streets, calm evenings. There's dignity in small things here. Walk through a market in Kirin or Mendefera, and you'll feel it. The pulse of daily life. The chatter, the barter, the smell of incense and fresh bread. Every vendor seems to know everyone. Children help parents with small tasks. Neighbors pause to chat, sharing news, advice, or a quick joke. There's no tourist gloss, just authenticity. And then there's something almost cinematic about how it all fits together. You can stand on a hill overlooking Asmara and see the sunset burn across the rooftops, the sound of church bells blending with the call to prayer. It's not chaos, it's coexistence, a living harmony between faiths, languages, and histories. Eritrea might not have the glitz of Cape Town or the fame of Cairo, but that's its secret weapon. It's unfiltered, it's grounded, it's real. The kind of place that reminds you that travel isn't about what you see. It's about what stays with you. Because long after you leave, you'll still remember that first sip of coffee. The coralstone streets, the way time felt slower, softer, the warmth of a smile offered freely. Eritrea doesn't shout to be remembered. It whispers, and that's why you never forget it. Beyond the coast, Eritrea's highlands and hidden treasures. Leave the sea behind for a moment, and you're climbing into Eritrea's highlands, a world that feels entirely different, yet intimately connected to the coast. The landscape shifts from flat, sandy plains to rolling hills, volcanic peaks, and terraced farms that seem carved by hand. Air gets thinner, cooler, fresher, carrying the scent of eucalyptus, coffee blossoms, and soil freshly turned for planting. Every step upward feels like peeling back another layer of history. Here, the highlands are dotted with villages that seem untouched by time. Children run along narrow stone paths, goats scramble across rooftops, and smoke curls lazily from clay chimneys. People still wear traditional garments, embroidered with intricate patterns unique to each ethnic group. It's a living museum where daily life is art and survival has its own elegance. The highlands also hold Eritrea's agricultural backbone. Sorghum, barley, and wheat grow in terraces that stretch along the slopes like green staircases. Farmers tend their crops using techniques passed down through generations, blending practicality with respect for the land. And the coffee, oh, the coffee. Some of Eritrea's finest beans originate here, nurtured in the shade of jacaranda and fig trees before they make their way to a jabina in an Asmara cafe. History whispers everywhere. In the mountains near Koheto and Matera, ancient trade routes climb rocky passes, connecting the highlands to the Red Sea ports centuries ago. Travelers use these paths to carry incense, ivory, and spices, moving silently between civilizations. You can still spot remnants of old stone bridges and carved inscriptions that survived earthquakes, invasions, and centuries of wind. The highlands are also a sanctuary for wildlife. Ibexes balance along cliff edges, colorful birds dart through juniper forests, and endemic plants. Many species unknown outside Eritrea thrive in this isolated ecosystem. For adventurers, the highlands are a playground of hiking, photography, and quiet contemplation, offering views that stretch from rugged mountains to the shimmering Red Sea far below. And it's not just nature and history. Human stories are woven into every village. Elders tell tales of resistance and survival, of kingdoms that ruled trade routes, and of families that nurtured generations under harsh conditions, yet never lost joy. Festivals in these towns, complete with drums, dancing, and songs in Tigrinya and Tigre, feel intimate, as though the hills themselves are celebrating with you. Traveling from the coast to the highlands, you notice a common thread: Eritrea's balance of endurance and beauty. From coral limestone cities to volcanic peaks, the country has preserved its identity through centuries of change. Each corner, whether sea or mountain, tells a story of people who adapt, survive, and celebrate life in every way possible. By the time you descend back toward the plains, you realize Eritrea isn't just a destination. It's a continuum. A place where coastlines, cities, mountains, and culture aren't separate experiences but chapters of a single narrative, waiting for travelers willing to slow down, look closely, and listen. And now, with the highlands behind us and the coast still shimmering in memory, it's time to step into the future, to the Red Sea frontier, where Eritrea's promise meets possibility. The Red Sea frontier, Eritrea's future and its forgotten promise. Standing on Eritrea's coastline today feels like standing on a threshold, the edge between what was and what could be. The Red Sea stretches endlessly eastward, a mirror of light and history. Across it lie Saudi Arabia and Yemen, and beyond that the trade routes that once made this region the heartbeat of the ancient world. The question now is, can Eritrea reclaim that pulse? Geographically, it's perfectly positioned. The country sits on one of the world's most strategic waterways. Nearly 10% of global trade passes through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, just south of Eritrea's Dahlak Islands. Oil tankers, container ships, and military fleets all cross these waters daily. But here's the twist. Eritrea's own ports, Massawa and Asab, are almost untouched by modern commerce. They're relics waiting for revival. Massawa, for instance, has deep water potential rivaling any Red Sea port. With infrastructure investment, it could reconnect East Africa to global trade routes. But politics, sanctions, and decades of isolation have kept that dream on pause. Recently, however, quiet partnerships and renewed diplomacy hint that things might be shifting. Roads are being repaired. Talks of port rehabilitation are resurfacing. Eritrea might be ready to open up again, but the country faces a dilemma: how to modernize without losing its soul. The very isolation that preserved its coral towns and Art Deco skylines also protected its authenticity, and that's what travelers find magnetic here. If tourism ever takes off, it'll need to do so carefully, slow, sustainable, and respectful of the culture that's been shielded for decades. Imagine eco-lodges across the Dahlak Islands powered by solar energy, divers exploring shipwrecks under guided conservation programs, small guest houses serving locally grown coffee instead of international chains. Eritrea has the potential to become Africa's most sustainable coastal destination, not by competing with others, but by staying true to itself. Then, there's the human side of the future. A young generation is growing up in Asmara, educated, creative, and quietly ambitious. You'll see them sketching in cafes, restoring vintage cars, and filming on old cinema cameras. They're blending heritage with innovation, mixing traditional Tigrinya music with electronic beats, designing clothes that combine Italian tailoring with local textiles. It's not nostalgia, it's reinvention. And when you talk to them, they don't describe Eritrea as forgotten. They call it misunderstood. A country waiting for the world to look again, to see beyond headlines and politics. And when that happens, when people rediscover this coastline, this city, this culture, it won't feel like discovery at all. It'll feel like a reunion, because everything about Eritrea, its coral cities, its volcanic islands, its patient spirit, has been here all along, quietly persisting. So, if you ever find yourself on the edge of the Red Sea, watching the light shift across the water, remember, you're standing on one of the oldest crossroads of civilization. A place that once connected continents and still connects stories. Eritrea doesn't need reinvention. It just needs recognition. And maybe, just maybe, the world is finally ready to remember Africa's forgotten coastline. Eritrea may not be on your travel bucket list yet, but maybe it should be. It's one of those rare places that feels untouched, where you can stand on ancient ruins, swim in coral reefs few have ever seen, and sip coffee roasted the same way it was 1,000 years ago. It's Africa's hidden coastline, mysterious, raw, and breathtakingly alive. If you enjoyed discovering this forgotten shore, hit subscribe, because the next journey might just take you somewhere even more unexpected.